I really do like snowshoeing, but if you were to ask my wife, she would definitely tell you the truth and say that I like snowmobiling a lot more.
You get your validation and your self-worth from the thumbs ups. That's the poison of social media.
Then we moved out here and my wife became pregnant. Surprise, surprise, with twins. We should be recording this conversation.
I am.
So I just cut that out.
I woke up one morning and told Joe I had an idea for a video. Pretty much the outline of the video was going to be us two brothers snowshoeing through the woods and cooking sausages over a fire that we were going to build with our own hands. The rest of this video is what came of our time out in the woods together. We definitely don't have fancy camera equipment, but we get by.
Get by, that's right.
So we're packing down this area here to have a place to sit and build a campfire and eat some lunch. Joe brought the axe. That was smart. All right, so this is gonna be part of our lunch. This is off of a moose that Jeremiah got, and then we bring it to a processor that turns them into the sausages for us, and we always have them put cheddar cheese in these, so these are delicious. We'll get out my fire making stuff. I got my Fire Strike flint stick. I think I talked about on the videos before about what we use these for, but this is a cotton ball that you massage into it lots of petroleum jelly, and that makes them very flammable. We'll see if it works.
Got a couple sticks for sticking our smokies on. This is my new buck knife. A good friend bought me for Christmas. You know who you are. Thanks, buddy. I love it. It's the first time I've really put it to a good use. So
Nice.
it's in my survival pack.
We'll see if it can successfully whittle down a hot dog stick. So let's play a game. It's called What's in Your Pockets.
I honestly thought you were gonna say, let's play a game of how many times is an airplane gonna ruin our shot.
Maybe I should wait until it's gone.
We're out here in the middle of nowhere, but it is Alaska on a beautiful day, and that means there's gonna be a lot of air traffic.
It's true. That's like the third plane so far. But what's in your pockets?
All right, what's in my pocket? My
Gloves. There you
my
go.
riding gloves, and oh, look at that. I did throw my pocket knife in there. My
There you
little
go.
Kershaw. I found this one. I found that. So it's got a little rubber grip. I like it. It's for a freebie. I don't mind abusing it.
Hey, what's in my pocket? That's a good question.
Hey, Zach, let me take this camera from you. What's in your pocket, Zach?
I've got a hottie, a hand warmer that I am using to keep one of our cameras warm. And in the other, a snack. We didn't bring cocoa, but I did bring Snickers.
There was a Craftsman tool bag, one of those cloth Craftsman tool bags with a zipper on it, and it had screwdrivers in it. They were Dad's, and I was just consolidating things and putting the screwdrivers in the spot that I put screwdrivers in. And as soon as I emptied the bag all the way out, I lost it. I don't know why. I miss him. It was weird. It was like once the bag was empty, I realized that Dad was gone. It was tough.
For us to not be able to visit a gravestone, it doesn't seem like a big deal to me because I see Dad in everything that I do.
Absolutely.
Almost every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm strong enough to just be like, smile on my face and say, wow, I miss you, Dad. And some days it's the opposite. Usually when I lose it, it's a good 5 or 10 minutes to regain myself. You getting this? This deliciousness? All right. Hey. Nope, can't smell it yet. I was hoping I could, but then the bears would come out of hibernation because they'd smell this. I think I'm gonna stick it this way. Okay. Let's rock and roll and see how that tastes. What's one of your favorite things about living in the Alaska wilderness off the grid?
I would hate to leave something out. There are so many things.
Just one.
I would just have to pick
I don't have to say your favorite, but one of your favorites.
Come back to me. Which one of your favorite things? Do you have it?
I think seeing my kids grow up in more of a unique setting, and they still have the 21st century things like cartoons or, I mean, it's not, like I've said before, it's not Little House on the Prairie. But to see them more interested in their butterfly garden or tundra flowers or their interest in the way moose and caribou, live here versus just always wanting to watch cartoons or play on their iPad all the time. And I think the other thing, I'm not as bush survival as you and Jeremiah. So I enjoy it. I enjoy all aspects of it. But honestly, it might sound weird, but I think one of my favorite parts is running the business. But it's so unique from running just a normal business in the city. It's kind of like my podcast microphone.
I'm the press. You got press sticking mics in your face. As you were answering, it gave me a few ideas. Definitely the aspect of raising your kid out here is really, really great. That's not something that Bonnie and I would have thought about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, before Emma. And we've had our struggles with trying to get pregnant and that whole roller coaster. But I definitely agree with Zac on raising a kid out here is just, it's an incredible place and an incredible experience and opportunity. But I would have to say probably one of my, top shelf favorite things is just being out of the rat race. Zac and I have both worked 9 to 5s. I'm a little bit older than Zac. I've had a lot of experiences. I've worked construction. I've driven dump truck and operated heavy equipment. I've driven for FedEx. I've done some tree service work and stump grinding with our father, amongst many other things. And I'm not scared of hard work. Neither is Zac or I. Our whole families, we're not scared of hard work. But just that monotonous cycle, Monday through Friday, get up, the routine, alarm clock, do your morning things, head off to work. I'll show these folks in non-Alaska land how deep the snow is. At least 4 feet.
Yeah, I didn't reach the bottom. I just got to reach down further with my hand. Hang on.
He doesn't have gloves on. He doesn't want to get his hands snowy. Are we talking 5 feet here?
There's at least 5 feet.
Wow.
Yeah. It's nice that last snowfall kind of packed down hard so we can walk around on it. We're sinking up to our necks and this stuff.
It is springtime here in Alaska, so the sun is putting out a little bit of heat, but the nights are still chilly. So a question for you, Zac, while I finish eating my smoky here. You and Alyssa have a child on the way. What are your thoughts on that? And, I know you're excited. We know you're excited about it. But I meant thoughts deeper as far as what that means for life out here off grid, what it means for, logistics with the business and the small lodge, just all of that stuff.
I've analyzed all of that, but I don't really have good answers for it yet. Still in the analyzing phase. A lot of our friends and family know that we had no intention of getting pregnant, to the point where we took the measures necessary to make sure that didn't happen. And God had other plans to...
What's the statistics on that? 1 in 1,000?
1 in every 2,000.
All right, so you're special.
So I Googled it. Just to find out how special I was. So God's plan to give us 3 kids has totally taken us by surprise. And when we posted on YouTube and just told everybody, we're like, oh... Some people say, oh, accidents happen, and you know how that happens, right? Ha, ha, ha. But to take it to the next level and say, no, it wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
Brings it to another level of miraculous. And so...
That's cool.
I'm just riding on a roller coaster now. Just haven't seen the end yet, so I don't know how it's going to work out. But I'm excited to have a son. But as far as having 3 kids out here... the thought of it scares us to the point where we wanted to make sure that didn't happen. And so now that it is happening, I don't know. You just have to play along and see how it works out. So, but we are excited. I think that it went from anger, wondering how could this possibly happen, being a statistic of 1 in every 2 to 5,000, something crazy like that, and then shock, and maybe a little depression.
Are those the stages of grief?
These are the 5 stages of an unplanned pregnancy.
Oh, right.
So I don't know, I'm not depressed about having another child, because that's awesome. I'm ready to change diapers and I can start over again at that stage of life. But the depression of, does this mean we're done at the lodge? Does this mean that, we had plans this is where we can sleep 2 kids. This is a living space for a family of 4. And that's it.
Right.
And so we don't know if that's opening another chapter or if it's opening up another book. So that's still to be seen, I guess.
It's exciting. I know Emma is super excited to have a baby cousin.
Yeah, she wants to touch Aunt Alyssa's belly every single night, saying goodnight to the baby. But I do think that I mean, when I say we went from like different stages of anger, shock, depression, now we're like way past all of that. Like, we are super excited. So I know we've talked about it before, just briefly, but having to move to town, the midwife wants us to move to town. Like, I knew that was coming, but it's still shocking to me that we're not going to be home for a while. I guess I knew that the midwife wanted us to move to town, and we don't want to have a home birth. That's crazy. We're not going to do that. But I didn't realize that like a reunion and coming home and getting to sleep in our own bed was so temporary.
Yeah.
And by the time we're in town, we'll only be home from Florida like a month or so. Again, just along for the ride on the roller coaster, and
Just hang on.
yeah, and I don't have the answers. So I love to analyze. I love to plan. And this last year and a half, ever since COVID destroyed our business, it's made it easier for me. I've grown a lot in just saying, don't know. So
Yeah.
that's actually, I think it's a good place to be, because I stress too much about stuff that I can't control. And this year has been a wake-up call for me, knowing that I can't control it, so why stress about it?
Now, some of the things that Bonnie and I have been through, you get to the just as an example. When Bonnie and I were dating, we had talked about it. We wanted kids right away. Both of us wanted kids right away. We both love kids. And that wasn't part of God's plan. We tried 8 years, and then we finally just said, you know what? My wife was tired of being tested and, all these different tests and poked and prodded and whatever is entailed in that. And we became content with where God had us. We fostered a little bit, and then we moved out here, and she became pregnant. Surprise, surprise, with twins. And we were so excited. We thought, at that point, it was a high-risk pregnancy. And we thought, sweet, one and done. We'll have 2 kids, and we'll be good to go, and we'll just call it quits. She was 20 weeks along in her pregnancy and went into preterm labor. Long story short, got her to the hospital. They kept her pregnant for 10 more days. They couldn't stop it. One was a stillborn, and one they kept alive in the NICU for 16 days, Sophia. And so we got to spend 16 days with our daughter Sophia in the NICU. That was the end of the roller coaster until we had Emma, and a lot of other things have happened. I mean, Bonnie's mom passes away, our dad passes away. Just it seems like life is happening. The older you get, the more that life happens.
One of my favorite sayings of yours, and you definitely didn't get it from our dad or me, but it's, things don't always work, but they always work out.
I can't remember where I heard that from. I think it was an old timer. It was an old guy that I heard it from, but it was
an old guy that was a lot more easygoing than I ever was.
Yeah, and when I heard that, it just thought, I started keeping track of it, and in my life, and there's a lot of things that don't work, as I'm sure most people can attest to. But in the long run, whether it's within a couple days, a couple weeks, to a couple years, things tend to work out. And if you can just keep your head above water, things don't always work, but they always work out.
Yep. I'm holding on to that with our fourth pregnancy, and our third child. And it's not working the way I thought. It's not working the way I planned. So, now just see how it works out.
I think our fire's kind of sad looking.
All right, we got to take a look at this fire hole we've melted.
So you can see this stick right there, knee spot, yeah, something like that.
There we go. There's that hole. It's melted pretty good.
What do you say, Zach? We've talked about life, fires, snow.
Lemons and lemonade.
Yeah, working and not working. I think we're going to wrap it up here.
Right on. Let's go.
Good times, good life,
Goodbye.
goodbye.